A woman decided to sell her dog to buy an iPhone, but what this lady did will astonish you. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe to m&rtv and hit the bell so you never miss any upload from us. Also, leave a like right now. What does your pet cat or doggo mean to you? Or for that matter, any of the animals you are petting, what importance does it hold in your life? Probably the most common answer is that they are a piece of your heart. They are our family, the one we wait to cuddle to when we reach our home after a long day. They are the ones who are no less than a stress buster for us. But unfortunately, there are certain exceptions to this. Not all human parents love their pets to the extent the majority of us do. And if you ask me why and how can I say that, then what happened with this doggo will yield you the answers. And believe me, it is so difficult to understand how could someone do this to their pet. Emma could not wrap her head around the caption that the advertisement read. She was baffled and at the same time surprised that there are people like this in the world as well. In a land where people just love these tiny, mute, and cute creatures, there are some who don't love them enough. Emma was not sure how to help this poor doggo. She needed to find a way to save him from the mess that he was being dragged into. She could not see a little puppy suffering the unknown all because of his human owner. What will she do? Will she be able to help this dog? Emma Haswell is an animal rights activist. She is also the founder of Brightside Farm Sanctuary. As quite evident from her profession, she is a die-hard animal lover, and when she came across that odd advertisement, her heart took over. She, no matter what, could not see that dog or any dog pictured in that advertisement. Dogs are one of the most loyal beings. They are the ones who can understand us, perceive our emotions, and at the same time reciprocate them all with their best. They are the ones with whom one cannot resist falling in love. When Emma came across that advertisement, she was taken aback to see that there was someone who loved this dog a little less. A pet is not only an animal living with you, but the dog or cat is also an irreplaceable part of the family. And even at any cost, one is not ready to give them away. And when Emma saw that the dog is priced and is on sale, she was shocked by the person's humanity. What was that advertisement? It was a usual day for Emma. She was just scrolling through various web pages, and while doing so, she came across an advertisement that caught her best attention. She was heartbroken and she wished to do something about it. What was the ad? There was an ad in which a woman had put her dog, a German Shepherd, for sale. And she did so not because she was unable to care for the pup, but all because for an unbelievable reason. It was the most terrible thing that Emma had ever seen in her life. The woman who had posted this ad wanted to sell her dog so that the money she gets in exchange would be used to buy a luxurious iPhone. Emma lost her brain reading this. How can someone sell their dog just to own a smartphone? Emma was extremely upset about it. Emma recalls that the expression of the dog in that post was so heart-wrenching. He looked weak and helpless. Amongst anything else on that post, the only thing that could not go off from Emma's eyes were the pup's looks. Being an animal lover, she could not let it go. What will she do next? Emma was disgusted at this sight. Just to own a smartphone, the anonymous woman was ready to sell her dog. Was she not carrying emotions with her pet? Did she not value him enough? Did his cute little pet licks mean nothing to her? Emma's heart cried with the pain that the dog was in. Emma, being an animal activist, has stood for their rights. And after witnessing an ad like this, she was firm that she would buy the dog. But there was a problem. Her sanctuary was a non-profit, and she did not have enough funds to buy the dog and give the woman an iPhone. What will she do? Emma wanted to help the poor soul and at the same time wanted to make the woman realize that she was doing something wrong. But she was clueless about how to go about it. Will the dog get a better life? Or would someone else exchange the dog for the smartphone? Not only this, there was a lot more to worry about. There was a lot of things to be worried about. If someone who was equally cruel like that of the woman bought this dog, if the dog did not get a good caretaker, what if someone left the dog on the streets? Emma was tensed. she decided to raise some funds to procure the dog. Emma shared the story of the dog over the web in order to raise just enough funds to own the dog. Luckily, there were many people who had a soft corner for the poor pup, and while sympathizing with the doggo, people donated enough to save the dog. But Emma had some other plans. Emma was able to raise enough money, but instead of offering the entire price, the woman decided to crack a deal with the owner of this doggo. Emma would not give her the exact amount that the lady had been asking for, but she'll do something else, and what she did was a smart decision. Emma asked the woman to give the dog for a lower price. She knew that as the woman wanted to buy that iPhone, she would sell the dog for any price, as all that she wanted was money in exchange. Will the woman give away the dog? And if Emma wanted the dog that badly, why did she not give the entire amount to the owner? The only reason why Emma refused to offer the entire amount to the woman was that she wanted the seller to know that she cannot demand anything, and nor can she get whatever she desires. Will that woman agree to this deal? As expected, the woman agreed and was ready to sell her doggo, even at a much lower price than what she demanded. Though in that much money, she won't be able to buy a smartphone. Emma succeeded. She at last could get a hold of that dog. What next? Emma brought that dog to her sanctuary where there were many other dogs. The dog initially felt a little scared due to a sudden change in his environment, but soon only mixed well with the other dogs there. And with this, Emma even gives him a name. Emma was happy to see the dog playing around in her sanctuary. It was not the first time she had rescued a dog, but it was for the very first time that she had adopted a dog from his not-so-right owner. Emma calls the new member in her sanctuary Possum. Things did not end here. There was a lot more for this dog. Possum loved staying here in Emma's sanctuary. She even recalls that the dog made many friends here as well. She was gladder to see that he was in safe hands, but there was still one problem. Almost for all her life, Emma had stayed near these animals and she could understand their emotions as well. Though Possum was happy, he missed a close family environment. As he had been brought up like that, the sanctuary was not the accurate place for him. The only choice that Emma had with her was now to offer this pup for adoption. Probably the new family environment might make him feel like home. But this time she wanted to be sure that the dog lands in safe hands, and not like the one she bought from. Emma got the dog vaccinated and started to post his pictures over various social media platforms in the hope that any family who feels like owning a dog would eventually come across Possum and would want to adopt him. Will he find a new home? Finding a family for adoption was a tough task, but still, somewhere Emma was sure that there would be at least one family who would want to own Possum, as he was tiny and adorable. Moreover, he was only 12 weeks old. For days the post was shared about Possum, but no one actually turned up to adopt him. Things had never been this tough before as they were this time. During that week, many dogs were adopted from Brightside Sanctuary, but not Possum. And on one fine day, something happened. Emma was worried, but at the same time knew that if no one turned up to adopt Possum, the dog would stay with her forever. She would anyway shower him with all the love and care that his precious owner did not give to him. But that day, a family came. One day, a family came to visit the Brightside Farm Sanctuary, and while strolling through the pets staying there, their eyes caught hold of one pet dog in particular, and that doggo was none other than Possum. They could not have enough of him. Emma recalls that scene and says that the family had a young preschool boy, and he was continuously glued into Possum's eyes, as if all he wanted was him, and surprisingly, even Possum began to wag his tail to that kid, which he rarely did. The family, especially the young boy, developed an instant connection with Possum. They knew that all they had to do now was to adopt this cute dog and take him along as a family member. The young kid was super excited to play with Possum. The family not only adopted Possum, but they also adopted a friend for him from Emma's sanctuary. They took home another white beagle. For the family, their family was now complete in every sense. They loved these new additions. Emma said, "If I can take in an animal and change the course of her life, I will do so." That's what I did for Possum. She would do something like this again and again for any animal she finds. Emma is a true savior. Even though Possum's first owners decided to sell him for owning an iPhone, the dog was lucky enough to have found a new family where he will be valued and taken care of.